This video will illustrate the power visualizations on Georgia Tech campus. There are multiple pieces of information that can be seen. Firstly, you can observe the power at the building level. You can select the date and time for which you want to see the power consumption. Since the database records the power consumption values for every 15 minutes, you can drill down at the date, hour and minute level. You can click on a particular building to get more granular data. You can change the date range to see the power trends in that building. Since this data is of the campus recreation center, it is obvious that most students would attend it after classes in the evening. This is reflected by the fact that the power consumption is the least between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is the highest in the evenings. Also, you can observe that during the weekends the power consumption is really low. This comes from the fact that most students are not on campus during the weekends. What can this be useful for? This can be useful to detect anomalies like outages. You can basically detect problems and inform the appropriate admins so that they could resolve the issue in time. For instance, when you look at the total active power over the campus, anybody who's familiar with the campus would quickly observe that there's no data reflected on Van Leer. You could click on it to see what's been happening. As you see, since 12 p.m. yesterday, Van Leer has been reporting zero values. This signals a problem that needs to be rectified. This tool lets you monitor the power consumption across buildings at a high level and drill down into details when needed. You can easily observe that the EST building is consuming high power. You can click on it to see if it is deviating from the normal trends. Clearly, this building is a high power consumer and there is nothing abnormal in this situation. To reassure that there is no problem, you could check the power consumption by another metric such as the total power per square feet. As observed, the consumption as per this metric is well balanced. You could also observe the active power per person. This lets you basically analyze the relationship between the power consumption and the number of people in that building. This could be useful in planning future power plants based on the usage. Another important piece of information available on this visualization is the power flows. Flows provide low-level details of how the energy is flowing between buildings across the Georgia Tech campus. These also illustrate how the physical power lines have been laid on the campus. This is important as it explains the physical topology of the power lines. This can aid in decisions regarding where new power lines should be constructed. You can zoom to particular areas of the campus to see the power flow lines in that area. As you can see, the color and speed indicate the power flow values. Between any 2 points, multiple lines may run. These power flows are not static. Otherwise, they would have simply been an animation rather than a data visualization. In fact, you can visualize the power flows based on different times and quantities. These power flows are generated based on the OpenDSS simulation results. For demo purposes, the simulation was run for a week and the corresponding results were stored in a .csv file. These results are being visualized currently, so you can pick any day of the week as well as any hour to see how the power flow has changed. You can see how the power flow values have changed over every 15 minutes. In terms of quantity, you can view both active and reactive power over these lines. When drilling down into problems, it is crucial that you have the ability to say only features and lines of interest. You can simply toggle on and off the lines that you currently want to see. As observed, currently lines L1, L2, L3 and L8 are only displayed. You can click on any point to see all the lines that run through it. At this point, only lines L1 and L3 were running. By clicking on a particular point, you not only see all the lines that run through it, but you can also see the complete 1 week of data on that line. This helps understand the dependencies among lines and how a drop in one impacts the other. Currently, only lines N7 and N8 are displayed. When you click on them for greater details, you'll observe that when one was not operational, the other one was heavily loaded. It can be clearly seen that when N8 was reporting zero values, N7 was at its peak. Thank you. Hope this was informative.